Hey Plitchers, and welcome to another video roundup. We've got 5 amazing games lined up for you, so sit back, watch, listen and learn how to play the games you want to play your way. Medieval Dynasty from the outside looks relatively simple. You start as a lone survivor in the Middle Ages and become the ruler of, well, a dynasty. However, placing it in a single category isn't so easy. Now, developer RenderCube explains that Medieval Dynasty combines the most interesting elements of several game genres, namely simulation, strategy, survival, action-adventure and open-world RPG, with facets from each underpinning your journey from peasant to overlord. So we took the first steps on the road to forging a dynasty in this early access build, and as the game's Steam page makes clear, your character's origins are humble. You are a poor but skilled hunter and a farmer set to take his fate into his own hands, and from there you start building a small outpost in the medieval world and develop it into a bustling village. The survival and RPG foundations are clear from the start. You begin as this poor but skilled peasant, stranded in the middle of a dense forest with 2 dependents, your wife and your son. You have nothing really other than your clothes on your back and a water bottle to your name, which you'll need to fill from a nearby river as soon as you can. Starting a dynasty from scratch is thirsty work. Now Plitch has, get this, 41 codes to let you play the way you want to play. Things like setting extraction talent points and farming talent points, to God mode never hungry or thirsty, to even increasing player attributes, health, stamina. And for you hardcore players, you can make yourself hungry and thirsty, lower your health, even reset your reputation to 0, and resetting your building, survival, farming and crafting points to 0. Now, I want to start off by saying that horror games do not scare me. There's so many horror games that fit under that umbrella, from Resident Evil to Amnesia, and most hit familiar beats. A few good jump scares, the dread of being pursued, nasty monsters, and a few creepy sound effects. I enjoy all of these experiences, but even when things get intense, I'm never actually really scared. Phasmophobia, however, is a game that gets into your head. When you're playing, the real world doesn't exist, but when you stop, some aspects have seeped into reality. This game has left myself and my friends not so much stunned as scrambled, jacked on adrenaline and chatting for hours afterwards about what in the hell actually just happened. Now, the best way I can describe Phasmophobia would be a detective game about ghosts. You play as one of up to 4 investigators who go into various locations, from roadside houses to a creepy asylum, and try to identify what ghost you're coming up against. To this end, you have various pieces of equipment, all simple in utility, stored in a van that acts as the team's sort of headquarters at each location. There's a flashlight, a better flashlight, which nearly always occupies one of your 3 inventory slots. VR players, however, do get an extra 4th slot, which seems a tad unfair, but they spent the extra money. You get an EMF reader, a little box that begins to light up in the presence of a ghostly activity, a UV flashlight will show up some ghostly fingerprints or footprints, a thermometer detects drops in room temperature, and so on and so on. All of this might make the game sound quite basic, like, you just run into a house with an EMF reader, find a ghost and that's it, job done. Well, good luck if that's how you want to play it. It's only a matter of time before the real game kicks in. Now, Plitch only has 5 codes to help you, but it's 5 codes that you only need. If you want to give yourself the upper hand by buying as many tools as you can, why not add a lot of money? You can also reset your money or XP to 0 if you're one of those hardcore players, and if you want to play those professional levels, add as much XP as you need. If you were going to try any game on this list, Phasmophobia has got to be the one. Just make sure that you top up on underpants when you play it. Mafia Definitive Edition is set in the 1930s. The economy has collapsed. Different authoritarian regimes are gaining power around the world, and dust storms are killing crops and causing food shortages. And to make matters much worse, booze has been declared illegal. You play as cab driver Tommy in the city of Lost Haven. The Dirty 30s are an age of opportunity, and this is the story of Tommy's rise from a working stiff to a mafioso. Mafia features a big explorable city, but it's not an open world game. This is a completely linear experience split into tightly designed missions, so don't go in expecting a GTA style playground. It's a cover shooter really, but boasts long drives and slower moments of scene setting to let you soak up the atmosphere before, the bullets inevitably start flying. Whatever Mafia does, it gets the balance right. You rarely feel overloaded with combat, with plenty of breaks in between to wander around, talk to people, or even just take a drive. The shooting is chunky, but satisfying. The shotguns are brilliant, if ultimately pretty basic, but sluggish character movement makes sprinting between and snapping two pieces of cover especially frustrating at some times. If you've already played through Mafia and you want to do this time a bit of fun, Plitch has got you covered. It's got 9 codes that are going to help you play the way you want to play. Things like unlimited ammo and no reload, super accuracy, no recoil, obviously God mode, and you can even freeze the mission timer for those pesky missions where you've got 1 minute 30 seconds. Oh, by the way, if you want easy kills on the AI, we've got you covered there too. In 2009, a time that was a relatively quiet period for action RPGs, Torchlight released. It was praised for its clever class design, colourful dungeon crawls, and, well, cockeyed personality. This was 3 years away from Diablo 3 and 4 years away from Path of Exile, so most of us were thrilled to annihilate legions of gremlins from an isometric perspective again. 11 years later, the franchise is back with a new developer and the same svelte design philosophy. Torchlight 3 remains a tight, low-stakes, click-heavy Diablo-like action RPG. In Torchlight 3, you will globetrot through the frigid peaks and dank swamps of this universe in search of glory. You will cast massive AoE burn spells to cut down the unrelenting legions of skeletons, goblins, and in-dimensional beasties who emerge out of thin air to block your path. You will soak up thousands of different items coded by rarity, which will inevitably prove to be attributes, upgrades to the stuff you are currently wearing. And occasionally you will stumble into a boss with a few more attacks than the average garden variety enemy, which will unlock the progression to a new higher level gated area of foes. Plitch, however, can help you move along a bit faster, boasting a whopping 20 cheat codes to help you play the way you want to play. Things like God mode and even Super God mode, maybe adding gold, as much as you like by the way, or resources, even adding XP or skill points. Any way you want to play Torchlight 3 with Plitch, you can. Now, when Age of Empires 3 was first released in 2005, it was a very, very different world. The original developer Ensemble made some decisions that simply can't be made now, filling in factual gaps with liberties taken, occasionally stooping to using racial stereotypes that nowadays just aren't to be tolerated, and credit goes to Ensemble, a new developer Tantalus Media, who have addressed these issues in Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. Age of Empires 3 The Definitive Edition has a lot more to it than just improved visuals, delivering the original game along with 2 new campaigns, re-recorded voice lines, restructured stories, revamped multiplayer, extra modes, and a host of quality of life improvements to bring it somewhere more in line with the genre as it exists today. Now, each campaign plays very differently in terms of plot. The objectives within each chapter have a fairly consistent theme. Most will task you with specific challenges such as destroying supply caches, obliterating an enemy town centre, or constructing a specific building or resource centre. Those looking for a pure empire builder can find it in the alternate modes, but the main campaigns of Age of Empires 3 are more objective driven. There's also more of them now, along with expansions, Asian dynasties, and the War Chiefs. The Definitive Edition launches with a brand new expansion, which brings the total number of campaigns to a whopping 16. Now, Plitch, as always with many other games, has got you covered with playing the way you want to play. With cheats like God mode and even God mode with mega health, one hit kill, fast recruit infinite units, and even adding as many food, wood, gold resources as you want, as well as experience. Plitch really's got you covered this time. Sadly guys, that is all we've got time for, but if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Let us know what you enjoy about these video roundups, and also let us know what you think about the way Plitch now works. Let us know in the comments what games you've been playing, and we'll catch you on the next roundup. Ciao.